who had come to Britain as a refugee at the age of 6, had to leave school at the age of 14 to help support his family. And on our walk together to home, I would ask him questions. Why do we do this? What does that mean? And he always gave me the same answer, which I never forgot. He used to say to me, Jonathan, I never had a Jewish education, so I can't answer your questions. But one day you will have the education I didn't have. And when that happens, you will teach me the answers to those questions. You want your child to grow up to be a chief rabbi, that's how you do it.
Intellectual, philosophical questions. He gave me intellectual, philosophical answers. And then he did what no one else had done. He did a role reversal. He started asking me questions. How many Jewish students in Cambridge? How many get involved in Jewish life? What are you doing to bring other people in? Now, I hadn't come to become a shaliach. I come to ask a few simple questions. And all of a sudden, he was challenging me. So I did the English thing. You know, the English can construct sentences like nobody else, you know? They can construct more complex excuses for doing nothing than anyone else on earth. So I started a sentence, in the situation in which I find myself. And the Rebbe did something which I think was quite unusual for him. He actually stopped me in mid-sentence. He says, nobody finds themselves in a situation. You put yourself in a situation. And if you put yourself in that situation, you can put yourself in another situation. That moment changed my life. Here I was, a nobody from nowhere, and here was one of the greatest leaders in the Jewish world challenging me not to accept the situation, but to change it.
I tell you something, Jews didn't innovate once, they innovate in every single generation. And even though some of those figures were not particularly religious, every one of them maintained that essential Jewish idea that you change the world not by the idea of power, but by the power of ideas. And that's what Judaism is. We are the people whose heroes are teachers, whose citadels are houses of study, and whose passion is learning and the life of the mind. The trouble is now, the two things have happened, which shouldn't have happened together. The first thing is, in the West, we've stopped telling the story of who we are and why, even in America. And at the same time, immigration is higher than it's ever been before. So when you tell the story and your identity is strong, you can welcome the stranger. But when you stop telling the story, your identity gets weak and you feel threatened by the stranger. And that's bad. I tell you, Jews have been scattered and dispersed and exiled for 2,000 years, we never lost our identity. Why? Because at least once a year on the festival of Passover, we told our story and we taught it to our children, and we ate the unleavened bread of affliction and tasted the bitter herbs of slavery. So we never lost our identity.
So let us together take this unique moment of independence and sovereignty in Medinat Yisrael, of freedom and equality in the diaspora, and let us really live proudly as Jews, true to our faith, a blessing to others regardless of their faith, and let us go and change the world together. Thank you.